The South Today bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, Queenstown's Mayor reflects on his first year in charge of the resort town after having plenty to deal with. Frustration for Christchurch motorists, with calls for the council to repair some giant-sized potholes. And Two Dunedin school students create a new way of learning Te Reo Māori with an interactive card game. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Queenstown Mayor Glyn Lewers is rating his first year in the job as a 7.5 out of 10 after taking over the role from Jim Bolt. And he's dismissed criticism that he's an invisible mayor, having had significant issues to deal with in recent months.
It's been one full year since Glyn Lewers took over from Jim Bolt as the Mayor of Queenstown. But in his short time in the top job, Lewers has had to deal with multiple crises, including the ongoing housing issues, as well as major flooding and an outbreak of cryptosporidium in the local water supply.
Being the mayor for the last few months, last year, has been enjoyable, really enjoyable, challenging, quite challenging, and there's been the occasional week you have a bit of sleep deprivation, but that's okay.
However, he insists his time in office hasn't been all bad. Lewis says he enjoys the range of events he gets to attend as mayor, one highlight being Queenstown's hosting of the 32 Irish counties for a world-first hurling game. Besides the major dramas that have impacted the resort town, Lewis admits he's disappointed he hasn't been able to complete some of the other goals he had for the Whakatipu Basin.
Queenstown stuff I would have really liked to have got the visitor levy over the line. We had a pretty sympathetic government at this stage. It just ran out of time.
And looking to the future after 12 months in the job, he says there are four main issues for the region to grapple with over the next few years.
The challenges facing this district is sustainable funding outside of just rates, and housing, public transport, and a really hairy one is energy security.
And despite being a very challenging year for the Alpine town, he says he still looks forward to coming into the office every single week. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A large number of Otago University professors are rallying together, signing a joint letter to express their concern about the institution's restructuring. More than 120 academic staff at the university have put their name to the letter, which was sent to the institution's leadership team. Their concerns come as the university works through a restructuring program aiming to slash a $60 million budget deficit, which caused a major financial crisis. The university has so far accepted 107 voluntary redundancies, with additional job cuts made across various departments following reviews. The professors are understood to be concerned about decision-making at Otago University and are calling on Acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Helen Nicholson to reconsider the approach. For almost a decade, Christchurch motorists have been negotiating what many are describing as the city's worst street. Some frustrated residents say the central city road is littered with giant-sized potholes with no repairs on the horizon.
Is this the worst street in Christchurch? Many residents and business owners near Addington's eyesore City Street reckon it is. One person describing it as the street that council forgot.
Well, this is part of Warsaw Street. It's an access between businesses on either side. Pretty high traffic, trucks.
Motorists have to negotiate giant-sized potholes as they make their way along Warsaw Street. And Peterson says the high-usage road is steadily getting worse and worse.
Weather related, but once the surface breaks and cracks, which isn't very good to begin with, then the water gets underneath and it just compounds.
Christchurch City Council confirms Walsall Street is a council-owned road, but it claims they haven't received any pothole-related complaints since October 2022 and say there are no current plans to upgrade the road. However, the council will fill in any potholes reported or found by contractors. Peterson has complained to council about rubbish dumping in the past, but says the condition of the road is really hampering his business. He's planning to make a fresh complaint to the council.
We'd like something done about it, something cleaned up, because it's only a matter of time before, something occurs. Either someone's vehicle that's parked here is going to get damaged, or there's going to be a collision, which has happened, like the road gets blocked because trucks get stuck, but also damage to people's vehicles.
And he believes the problem could soon get worse, with a number of new apartments being built on the Addington street. In Christchurch, the South Today.
It was a big morning in Wanaka as the town's more eager shoppers welcomed 2 large retail stores to the area.
Hundreds of Wanaka bargain hunters lined up outside the Three Parks shopping precinct on Thursday morning for the opening of the town's very first warehouse and Noel Leeming stores. Both retailers are owned by the same parent company, the Warehouse Group. The stores were opened in the town's commercial district in a dual ribbon-cutting ceremony after months of anticipation. Twin queues formed outside the 2 stores from 7 in the morning. Many shoppers drawn in by the promise of goodie bags and tasty treats for the first 300 customers. The arrival of the warehouse in Noel Leeming is part of a growing number of chain stores in the area, with 65 new jobs added across the 2 retailers. Customers say they were glad to be a part of the experience, which marks a significant expansion of Wanaka's retail offerings. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Learning Te Reo Māori may have just become a bit easier for Kiwis thanks to a new card game recently released in Dunedin stores. 2 Bayfield High School students have been on a mission to make the language more engaging as part of their school project.
It may look like a typical game of charades, but these interactive cards are aimed at helping Kiwis with some basic Te Reo Māori. Bayfield High School students Isaac Foster and Imogen Johnson have been working hard in developing Whakaari, their game of talking and acting in the Māori language. It was Foster who originally came up with the idea after struggling to find Māori card games in Dunedin.
For me personally, I found it harder to work through workbooks. I found it easier to learn through games and just being up and about having fun, making that good relationship with Te Reo Māori.
The Year 12 students hope the product will help the language become spoken more frequently within the community.
I just think it's way more interesting to play a game instead of worksheets.
Foster and Johnston are excited for the future of their product. Whakaari cards are already on sale at a number of Dunedin stores, including Toitu Otago Settlers Museum. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. Young Kiwi ice skaters line up in Dunedin to showcase their skills at Nationals, and some Southland school children learn a thing or two about a hands-on art form thanks to an embroidery group.
Choose your credit deal. For a great deal on furniture, choose John with 24 or 36 months interest free or pay nothing until 2025.
And my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A range of young national ice skating talent has been on show in Dunedin at the New Zealand Ice Figure Skating Championships. One teenager was keen to defend his junior men's title, with competitors showcasing some cutting-edge performances.
Auckland figure skater Dwayne Lee elegantly gliding across the ice last month at the junior men's free skating competition in Osaka. The 15-year-old was recently in Dunedin, competing in this year's New Zealand Ice Figure Skating Champs. He's the current junior men's champion and was aiming to defend his title against some of the country's top young skaters. Lee is in strong form. He won bronze in August at the International Skating Union Junior Grand Prix in Bangkok, the first Kiwi athlete to earn a medal at that competition.
I was really grateful to showcase New Zealand to the world and make more people get to know the country more.
The Dunedin Ice Stadium saw skaters putting on fierce displays of concentration and skills on the slippery surface as part of the 4-day national competition. Lee says he's excited to compete against the country's best of the best and has strong ambitions.
I really want to compete in major competitions like World Championships and if possible maybe Olympics. That's a dream.
Lee managed to successfully defend his title in the junior men's free skate, coming in first place with a total program score of 68.5 points. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Southland children were left in stitches recently as they learned an art form from thousands of years ago. The Eastern Southland Embroidery Guild held a workshop in Gore, taking an artsy approach to school holiday activities.
Making their artwork come to life with just a needle and some thread. 15 Southland children got to try their hands at some intricate stitching as part of the Eastern Southland Embroidery Guild school holiday program. The sewing session was held at the Eastern Southland Gallery, with guild members keen to help teach the youngsters some tricks of the trade.
I really like doing the actual stitching itself. Yeah, it's really fun.
President Leon Beatson says embroidery's become somewhat of a lost art form, but believes the skill has many benefits.
It's restful, it's you're learning different embroidery stitches, you're learning about different countries and their cultures, and yeah, so why wouldn't you do it?
She's disappointed many children are growing up without their parents knowing how to sew, but the group are hoping to be able to pass on their knowledge to future generations to keep embroidery alive. In Gore, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Queenstown Mayor Glyn Lewers has reflected on a rollercoaster first year in charge, dealing with floods and an outbreak of contaminated water in the resort town. Some Christchurch motorists are demanding repairs for a busy Addington street, with giant potholes waiting to be filled and the problem only getting worse. And Dunedin school students Isaac Foster and Imogen Johnston have developed a new way to learn te reo Māori through their Whakaari card game. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome back editor Paul McIntyre. Hello, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm great. What can we expect to read in Friday's paper?
So we've got an East Otago farmer faces charges after more than 460 hectares of tussock which is home to 2 species of New Zealand's rarest skinks, apparently, was ploughed up. We also look at the 4 quarter-final matchups in the Rugby World Cup, which are obviously the main one being the ABs versus Ireland, whose eyes will be smiling after that one.
Sure.
And we've also got coverage of the Zonta Fashion Awards, and the final leaders debate. And I'll let readers debate as to which one of those they'd be more excited to read about.
Sure. We look forward to reading tomorrow in the paper. Thank you for sharing this evening, Paul.
Thank you.
Well, time now for a look at your weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, there'll be milder weather for a day or so as northwesterly airflow arrives, but another period of cold southwesterly airflow is lining up for the weekend. Heading to the top of the South Island, fine with light winds through here tomorrow with a 16-degree high in Nelson and 15s in Greymouth and Christchurch. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, clear blue skies with light winds through here again tomorrow with 15s in Ashburton and Timaru, while Oamaru's nor'easterlies will be a bit stronger and take the high to 14 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, it's looking like it'll be a calm, still day through the valleys tomorrow, with a 15-degree high expected in Queenstown and up to 16 in both Wanaka and Alexandra. Heading further south, there's light nor'westerlies on the way tomorrow with 14-degree highs in Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, showers clearing tonight as it drops to 3 degrees. Friday's shaping up to be a sunny day with nor'westerlies and a high of 15. And into the weekend, Saturday's looking cloudy with some showers and strong winds with a high of 16 degrees. And finally heading to Dunedin. A few showers and down to 6 overnight. Tomorrow's cloudy first up, but the clear blue sky will take over around midday with changing winds and a high of 14. And then Saturday brings some thick high cloud with warm northerlies and a top temperature of 18 degrees. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. And you can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.